Have you ever seen a movie that was so intense, disturbing, or emotionally draining that you didn't think you could sit through it again? Today, we're talking about 7 acclaimed yet emotionally devastating films that are incredibly difficult to watch more than once. These movies examine raw, disturbing subject matter in unflinching detail, making repeat viewing an intense and challenging prospect. The notorious 1978 exploitation horror film I Spit on Your Grave, directed by Mir Zarchi, stars Camille Keaton in a grueling performance as Jennifer, a young writer brutally gang-raped by 4 local men at her isolated vacation cabin. Left for dead, she recovers and methodically stalks each of her attackers, luring them into elaborately sadistic revenge plots before gruesomely murdering each one. With its excruciatingly long scenes of graphic sexual violence and subsequent bloody vengeance, I Spit on Your Grave shocked audiences with its level of explicit brutality. The film's detached, gratuitous depiction of Jennifer's horrific rape and her creative methods of retribution makes it an extremely challenging viewing experience that most audiences cannot bring themselves to endure twice. The intensely unsettling 2005 psychological thriller Hard Candy, directed by David Slade, stars Ellen Page delivering an unhinged yet disarming performance as intelligent 14-year-old Haley. She meets up with Jeff, an unsuspecting 30-something photographer played by Patrick Wilson. Suspecting Jeff of grooming young girls online, Haley takes him hostage in his home and subjects him to a series of progressively sadistic mind games and physical torture meant to make him confess. Her acts of vengeance are highly disturbing. The tension-filled cat-and-mouse exchanges between precocious Haley and her increasingly terrified prey leave many viewers chilled and emotionally exhausted. The film's ominous atmosphere, shocking twists, and troubling ending cement it as a standout thriller, but one too disturbing to revisit. 1992's Bad Lieutenant, directed by cult filmmaker Abel Ferrara, features Harvey Keitel in a fearless lead performance. He plays the unnamed title character, a corrupt, unhinged NYPD cop spiraling into crack addiction, gambling debt, and complete moral decay. As he abuses his power to feed his many worsening addictions and vices, the audience bears stark witness to his shocking depths of derangement and desperation. Keitel plays him with a terrifying manic intensity. The film pulls no punches, with scenes of him engaging in sexual degradation, deranged violence, self-harm, and anguished religious torment. Bad Lieutenant's unrelenting descent into one man's hell makes it a riveting but extremely grueling viewing experience. Director Paul Greengrass's visceral 2006 drama United 93 depicts the harrowing events on board United Airlines Flight 93 on 9/11. Filmed in real time, United 93 chillingly recreates the rising panic and desperation as passengers realize their plane is part of a suicidal hijacking plot. As they bravely band together to resist the terrorists, the viewer is taken on an intensely emotional ride. Knowing the tragic fate that awaits them heightens the distressing impact. The film received acclaim for its technical mastery and verite style, but proved so emotionally draining that most could only endure its traumatic intensity once. The notorious Human Centipede trilogy from Dutch writer-director Tom Six. These 3 films follow a succession of madmen surgeons who abduct victims to stitch together mouth to anus, creating human centipedes. Deliberately revolting and exploitation-driven, these movies wallow in the torturous cruelty inflicted on helpless victims, forced not only to share digestive systems, but also to commit further acts of humiliation, violence, and mutilation upon each other for the villain's amusement. With their gratuitous and graphic depictions of the human centipede's prolonged suffering, debasement, and torture, the Human Centipede films have earned a reputation as emotionally scarring viewing experiences that even hardcore horror fans find difficult to sit through more than once. Precious, Lee Daniels' intensely moving 2009 drama, starred newcomer Gabourey Sidibe in an Oscar-nominated performance as Clarice Precious Jones, a withdrawn, illiterate 16-year-old in 1987 Harlem struggling against obesity, illiteracy, poverty, and horrific childhood abuse. Precious' father raped her and impregnated her twice. giving her one child with Down syndrome and another she simply called Mongo. Her mother, Mary, played in an Oscar-winning turn by Monique, is a toxic blend of rage and envy, subjecting Precious to constant emotional, physical, and sexual abuse. As Precious slowly begins seeking a better life for herself and her children, each horror from her past is more painfully revealed through searing, flashback-driven storytelling. The film pulls no punches in depicting Precious's ongoing traumas and the depth of human cruelty she has endured in visceral detail. With its incredibly bleak outlook and unforgettable depictions of the worst kinds of abuse, Precious proves an emotionally shattering viewing experience not to be undertaken lightly twice. Leaving Las Vegas, Mike Figgis's deeply depressing 1995 drama featuring Nicolas Cage's Oscar-winning performance as Ben Sanderson, a once promising Hollywood screenwriter now in the depths of alcoholism. Ben has lost everything due to his addiction and has come to Las Vegas with the mission to drink himself to death. He forms an unusual romantic relationship with Sarah, a troubled prostitute played by Elizabeth Shue, who accepts Ben's terms, that they cannot ask each other to stop their self-destruction. As Ben's health rapidly deteriorates, neither judges the other, even as their inner despair is laid bare. Unfolding as an elegiac farewell to life, the film pulls no punches, showing the brutal realities of addiction and how Ben knowingly chooses the bottle over any chance to live. The hopeless sadness permeating every scene makes Leaving Las Vegas a profoundly depressing viewing experience, an emotional endurance test that no viewer can be blamed for not wanting to repeat. That's 7 films acclaimed for their artistic achievements, but undeniably demanding and even traumatizing in the intensity of their subject matter. Hey, have you seen any of them? Which ones did you find most affecting or disturbing? Comment down below. And be sure to like, share, subscribe, and rock the notification bell. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.